Issue 251. We start out with Sonic running around a field with purple bushes, saying the word bored multiple times because he can't find any ruthless villains to beat in his zone hopping, reminding me of how he reacted after Eggman was taken down. Yeah, he's really not that different from Scourge. He needs chaos and anarchy in his life so he can have fun, and nothing but peace would make this hero miserable. It's interesting. Anyways, we see Sonic get warped over to a place with technology in it by Lumina. They bothered to give her last name. And she's got a spiffy new identity too. She's the emissary of the Marinary Zone, here to track down one of her world's worst villains. And she selected Sonic as her champion for a universe game because she's been watching his amazing exploits. So wait, if she's seen those amazing exploits because she spies on him, why didn't she just take a camera and record them on a regular basis? Which would have gotten her footage of Grimer bragging to Sonic that he framed him and so on. Oh, that'd be too easy apparently. And Sonic's acting totally ungrateful here because even though he was bored, he's still all apprehensive and complaining about being dragged into adventure. Make up your damn mind. The criminal Lumina's looking for is Void, who's escaped into Sonic's universe. Well, apparently Void's a girl here. And because she's her opposite and equal, Lumina considers stopping her to be her responsibility. But Void's power could threaten the much weaker fabric of Sonic's reality if she confronted her directly. So Lumina's been playing a game of cosmic proportions with her for almost 100 years. It turns out the prize is the Precious Stone, a mirror of their reality with unlimited power, as Sonic guesses genres heavily. See, this is what I wanted out of a Sonic Shuffle adaptation. Originality, while still using the basic elements of the plot. Again, why is Sonic only agreeing to help fight Void reluctantly when he wanted a villain to fight earlier? Sonic complains about being taken for granted, saying, "She could have said thanks, but no." I don't blame him for being annoyed. He has every reason to resent, say, the people of Mobius for being ungrateful to him, so he's letting that resentment out on her when she's not around. Void creates a force field to block Sonic's spin dash, and in a callback to when Sonic did a race in space, Turbo is Void's champion. Sonic stupidly tries to talk him into working together this time, not last time, when this time he's getting pummeled because of it. You know, we could at least attack while trying to convince him. And as a result, he annoyingly loses a fight to someone he should have mopped the floor with. It's not really in character for the Sonic to waste time trying to talk someone into being buddies with him, instead of jumping at the opportunity for a fight. Because Turbo wants Void to give Sonic a rematch with him, she throws him into the cell with Sonic out of spite. Turbo thankfully explains why he's working for that psycho. An old plot thread is wrapped up as he forced his old masters to release his family when Sonic beat them, and then Turbo realized that he was getting bored without the thrills of the space race. So when Void offered him adventure, he agreed. At least he's admitting that it was a mistake. Turbo says interestingly that Lumina being good at the universe game apparently makes her ruthless, and she'd sacrifice their universe if it would save hers. That's a good twist. Sonic's told about a shock collar on Turbo and breaks it with a super fastness easily, and they all go to the game and start fighting some troops. Lumina says that she was playing the game to avoid battling Void, and now she must sacrifice this galaxy to hold her off. Why does she have to? Surprisingly anticlimactically, all Turbo and Sonic have to do to stop Void is run up to her and punch her out when she's distracted. And Lumina admits her embarrassment over that idea never occurring to her. As I wonder if she's the real villain since this is way too quick and easy. At least she apologizes to Sonic. She is told to take Void back to the Marinary Zone and keep her there. As I can't help but think of marinara sauce when I think of the title of that zone. And as Sonic and Turbo get sent back to where they were before, Sonic shakes Turbo's hand, saying like a friendly rival that he owes him a decent rematch. In the next story, we see Tails already in the Nameless Zone wearing the coat Zab gave him, and Kintobor asks where they are since they've wandered out of his field of digital surveillance. Tails says that he forgot he left it switched on. And just when I was about to compliment the story on the refreshing idea of Kintobor being Tails' buddy for this Nameless Zone adventure, he shuts him off because he doesn't want him to see what's coming up. After Tails sees an explosion, he sees the Resistance, with Moraine saying that she told them she'd get them out of there while they're coughing near some rubble. And one of them says she's the one who got them in there. Why is Moraine referring to her old plan as her master plan when she doesn't know she's a bad guy? At least it's only Moraine who hates Tails from earlier, as it's one of the Resistance members who summoned Tails here in the first place. She's full of admiration for him, and even compliments his coat. I really have to wonder why it's not all of the Resistance that hates Tails, though, after he sided with the goblins last time. And for some reason, Tails asks if Moraine's mad because of something he said when she explicitly spelled out her problem with him last time. He's told that Moraine's just mad because she nearly killed them all with another reckless act of violence. So even her own team is fed up with her. The guy then says that he's this close to leaving the group and forming his own clan, and he's even got an idea for a name and motto. Why would you talk about abandoning the Resistance right in front of the Resistance? When the girl doesn't want to be left alone with Moraine, she's thankfully told that she can be part of his new clan. Tails tries to reason with Moraine and asks what happened here. He's told that the goblins decided to build a new castle unnecessarily right here on the outskirts of their village, making their empire closer to home, right here on their doorstep. So the Resistance decided that they had to hit the construction site and hit it hard. Seriously, why'd they want to build a new castle in the first place? That seems like a giant waste of time and money and resources. The Resistance had snatched away a vehicle and drove it through the foundation, which trapped them in the rubble. How come when Tails says that it was a terrible thing they did destroying a pointless castle, no one questions it at all? I'm not seeing much logic in this so far, a lot of nitpicks. After Tails gets upset at being asked by Moraine what does he know about war, he orders one of the Resistance members to take them to Mobius, saying epically that he's going to show them what a real war looks like. Yes! With all the times Tails was dragged into the Nameless Zone, it's about time that we see some people in that zone cross over to Mobius for a change. Make the whole place feel less disconnected from Mobius. In the next story, after some panels are wasted on recapping the chaotic situation and telling us that their experiments to revive the Special Zone have done nothing so far and never will, Espio says that the last time he checked the internet, he saw it filled with Robotnik propaganda. Vector says that zone-wide communications are down and blames Eggman for it. It turns out that Kintobor was the one who invented the internet for Mobius, which I love to hear. Again, he Nate Morganed the place. He brought in some great technology. It's making good use of the fact that he used to be a good scientist. Vector says that Eggman's making use of the internet for his schemes, and he's already launched several attacks on Kintobor, which Porker had to shoot down. Vector says he plans to send Espio inside cyberspace for a threat assessment. Omni fills an empty coffee cup because with the Equinox lab destroyed, his rechargeable energy supply is cut off, so this is the most effective way of storing his power, while Vector uses the Omni frame as a gateway to the digital realm. I'm getting flashbacks to that really boring story that introduced the nanites and Archie because there's so much talking. Can we get to the action already? At least Omni has a charming line, plus I wouldn't want to be mistaken for a pop-up ad. Espio in cyberspace sees some flying Eggman heads that are probably viruses, and decides to head towards the terminal, feeling like this place is a city under martial law. With some security programs threatening Espio, he actually explains why he looks so weird. It's not because that's what cyberspace does to everyone. It's because his chameleon powers going haywire makes him stick out like a sore thumb. Espio learns that there's a program war between old Kintobor and new Robotnik software, since the remnants of the old Kintobor software still exists. I'm still really bored, by the way. This is like the first issue of the Mercian story arc in Sonic Universe. Espio says that this place is weird enough to remind him of home. If the Special Zone is his home, why would he think of it as weird? Wouldn't Mobius be weird to him? Then the programs all freeze up, and it turns out that Shadow can't control them to freeze in place before shooting them with a gun. Finally, we're seeing Shadow again. In the next story, a text box explains that with several zones being bombed daily, a decision's been made to evacuate some children to Miracle Planet. So that place is finally going to be populated. It's about time with all of its greenery. Why waste an inhabitable planet? It's exactly 3 days that Miracle Planet stays over Mobius for. Oh, there's gun troops in Fleetway too. We see text boxes saying that the gun troops failed to keep Eggman's forces off Miracle Planet. And after Amy can't contact Kintobor, they get threatened by some enemies, and one of the soldiers reveals how tense the situation is, because they don't want Miracle Planet to leave Mobius with badniks of them still on it. They walk around in a residential area with some noises inside the buildings where people are hiding, and Amy wonders if something that was brought in was a disguised badnik. It turns out they're being threatened by the Tails doll, multiple of them in fact. Amy fires some metal things onto the ground that create an explosion and figures out that the gems on their heads were what's keeping them afloat by controlling gravity. She figures that she could only hit one of them at once at this range, and through the power of bullshit, she's able to reflect her shots off the tail stalls so that she takes them all out in one shot. That was easy. The story ends with Amy wondering how many tail stalls there are in Mobius, as we see supposed children's toys being sold in the window of a store. This will never get resolved, by the way. The first story was by Shaz, and it's about Sonic being summoned by Lumina to fight Turbo and then getting into a fight with Void, who Sonic merely punches out after convincing Turbo to work together with him. It was interesting that Lumina was a well-intentioned extremist who would possibly do anything to beat Void, but that's only told, not shown. And because Void was dealt with so easily in a rush-to-be one-shot story, it felt underwhelming. The second story and third one are by Jamie J, and the second one has the Resistance members other than Moraine still liking Tails after he sided with the Goblins for some reason. And then Tails decides to show them Mobius to see what a real war is. I like that even Moraine's teammates are fed up with her, even if just for risking their lives. But there's no reason the Goblins should have made a new castle in the first place. That makes no sense. The third story was excruciatingly boring because it overloads you with talking exposition from the Chaotix, a lot of which I already know, making the pacing feel very sluggish, taking forever to get to the interesting part that Kintabor's old software is warring in cyberspace with Eggman's viruses. And the fourth story by Charles Ellis has Amy easily defeat some Tails dolls on Miracle Planet with one lucky shot somehow. At least that's just the beginning of the arc with the Tails dolls. Oh wait, no it's not, this never gets resolved. And I love the idea that some Mobians are evacuating to Miracle Planet because it's way safer than Mobius. It makes sense. People don't all want to move there because, well, one, it's normally called Little Planet for a reason. It probably wouldn't have room for everyone. And two, people want to defend Mobius, not give it up by abandoning it. Plus, statistics say that very few people will be willing to travel abroad, so it makes sense.